The spark weighs the heart as I sun ray my art her make the patriarch. Most social media saviors are fakes. Marks once we make knowledge one is when time and space rock. The great matriarch, whether it's day or dark, creates the spark weighs the heart as I sun ray my art her make the patriarch. Most social media saviors are fakes. Marks once we make knowledge one is when the rhyme and bass drop. I rose up, took a shower, purified my auric field, took copper for a wall to ensure my chlorophyll is pumping. Done some curls for sure, I've more to build. Solid foundation, my crown, chakra core and heel. Pound the pavement, sacred ground, freedom I stand for. Free all political prisoners of war, man or woman and child. Rid the land of all foreign and alien entities. I decree this morning, send them back to whence they came. It's the peace laugh or war cry, whatever the relevant name of each path. Simple, highest form, spiritualities, how you teach math. A humble beast is still a beast. Now feel the beast wrath, rain fire on them. And the internet forms, sigils, emojis, and the avatars that wore them. Destroy this de facto government and its quorums. Establish Big Ma's house so she may restore him. A great matriarch, whether it's day or dark, creates the spark. Weighs the heart as I sun ray my art her make the patriarch. Most social media saviors are fakes. Marks once we make knowledge born is when time and space rock. The great matriarch, whether it's day or dark, creates the spark. Weighs the heart as I sun ray my art her make the patriarch. Most social media saviors are fakes. Marks once we make knowledge born is when rhyme and bass drop. The next host, note to self, quit playing, hit the gas. This shaft is called my turn, take the risk and smash. Most of them got vaccinated with shifts in their ass, plus rappers sacrificing each other for grips to their cash. Sad can't watch videos without the subliminals. Predictive programming weirdos from minstrel shows. The land's contaminated, fruits and vegetables, like minerals, the water and skies I fry. New with chemicals, technology got me here in front of my desktop, perusing these beats and whatnot for my best option, contemplating which bar will next pop to unlock the minds that are stuck within a Xbox. Off the chart, I continue to climb, watching the rest flop like carp fishing, 100% fresh shark water. I'm on the front line, X marks the spot. I shine because of her, but she's the best part. A great matriarch, whether it's day or dark, creates this spark. Weighs the heart as I sun ray my art her make the patriarch. Most social media saviors are fakes. Marks once we make knowledge one is when time and space rock. The great matriarch, whether it's day or dark, creates the spark. Weighs the heart as I sun ray my art her make the patriarch. Most social media saviors are fakes. Marks once we make knowledge one is when the run and bass drops. Shines your symbols are for the conscious minds, y'all. And with that on the temple, draw. I had a vision the past night, yeah, a circulus round. Created successful reality from a virtual now. How? Stand on my square cause they usurp your power. Them same little sneaky breezies that'll hurt you. They smile all up in your face, all up in your space. And I ain't talking all bras but dolls with whole trace. So I walk tall kittens while y'all cross slow race. I stay focused on walking through them tall gold gates. Draw magic circle around me to keep me from harm. The law fast checks purposely will keep me up calm. Mortify at earth, turn me from that beast to a bomb. Blow the joint and split the rings, the point the sentiments. I've encompassed my inner demons. 490-degree angles guarded by angel of shiny elite angels. Thank you, and I of course am the chief triangle. If I die before I wake, well at least I'll fly in plain view. I am my circle, how I govern four corners. Wise as a serpent for certain amongst foreigners. Out of state, out of place in the space they storing us. Learning firsthand of what fate was forewarned of us. I recall when bro and I spit flows dope, man, fly in a shell at Southampton, kept smoke, stay high. Years later, he's the same degree, just gained density. Gave my synopsis, he's toxic. I prayed I could say I behave by logos. I've raised my moral ground, way how my character stay fly. The conduct squared up, self-esteem, the day sky. New God on what the world's been waiting for. The days not they out there, and I don't abide by the same ethics. They feign respect, yet obtain the credit for keeping the obelisk erect. correct but with strange methods, but the epic of my name will reign and remain epic. Circumscribe my passions, my squares, my lift. Ask, is it worth the ride? Yeah, it's rare, I spit, but the beat's churchified, so I bear my shit. It hurt, I cried, this kid, and then it tried to eclipse my soul, bounce back from it. Announce it, I'm done with being the sacrificial lamb. The jungle, I run it, thus the lion conquereth over this numbness. Made a conscious shift, even in darkness, the sun lit on you false lights. Don't have to be gold to glitter. Actors of the part, but just for show. Go figure, you dig, pounding you baboon or gorilla. I'm built like a silverback with hill track, no iller max than me. Master built her back, originally pretty. Take the mask off, 360 on my square. See the circle, if not your mask off. You poemish, dash your soft. The dialogue's trash talk, your past lost. Leave a footprints in the asphalt. Use the outline correction, last roar. I blast off, I crash off to the next zest of living. Sacredly sex some whose ass off. When she walked the ass off, I told back to it like who makes your Yanni sing. Her response, she dons me king. To who they gave me the script, my ops the prescription. This is my vision's description. Listen, I'm standing on mine's my circle, it's me. I absorb your hate and make it work for me. Transform into fuel as I evolve. Advance this abnormal, dormant form and leave y'all right where y'all started at. Let me impart a fact. She'll be sitting in my ship as we chart the map. Thinking in destiny, the turtle and the hare. Acknowledge me as the circle and the square. Yeah. Sure. Y'all really thought that I was done with y'all. Nah. I'm really down on y'all. Fellas up. We're not going back and forth about this or that, whether your word is bond or whack. Here's a big fat, yellow, white, red, brown, black. Mau Mau, Big Mac, whether earth is brown or flat. We want our shit back. Enough with the chit chat. I see through the side ops, looking past the shy spot. Third eye gang cyclops. I don't eat pork, but I will fry cops. For foes, my heart's cold as an icebox. I'm saying die ops. From the skybox, I got scope on you pilgrims. The scope with some real ones. Some of our folks are sealed up. Yeah, and blasting the fact that blood, we gon' have this real some warrior spirits inside me. That's where it's real from. The world's a stage, page after page, script is played out. They keep us engaged, placate or rage. This is played out. Rules of a dying society should have been disobeyed out. Forehead and knees off the floor should have been prayed out. The draft is on, go is no issue. Coulda loaded in tissue. Now it's control who blows the whistle to who holds the pistols. The debate was about who owes who the fiscal. Disregarding the aboriginal issue. We're not going back and forth about this or that, whether your word is bond or wet. Here's a big fat, yellow, white, red, brown, black. Mau Mau, Big Mac, whether earth is brown or flat. We want our shit back. Ain't fool is known by his speech, yet if I don't speak, I suffer defeat. I'm other than we, a sucker or me. Stand on 2 feet, one turn the other cheek. The wise man known by his silence, mostly disguised compliance. Silence by clients, from conspiring to novice. Other aspirants of violence, tyrants of fire. Trying and trying to hide, I'm sure and defiant. And environments and migrants, I'm hearing the sirens. Ring in my ear, they've got indictments. These pedophile squares, groupies and hype men. Alignments, the assignment. I'm not the wisest, I'm non-pliant. A refinement and confinement, the requirements for this climate. Y'all push on the paperwork, or y'all can protest, but they can't escape this work. I vow to progress, don't duck, no wreck. Drill music for real. My soul they don't possess. Real foolish with no deal. Ain't playing with none of them. It's personal, know what the business is. Big monsters come full circle, so vacate your premises. We're not going back and forth about this or that, whether your word is bond or whack. Here's a big fat, yellow, white, red, brown, black. Mau Mau, or Big Mac, whether earth is round or flat. We want our shit back. We're not going back and forth about this or that, whether your word is bond or whack. Here's a big fat, yellow, white, red, brown, black. Mau Mau, Big Mac, whether earth is round or flat. We want our shit back. Kichiwa.
Nah, bro. Come on. You almost there, bro. Almost there. Survive.
I do it die for Chi-Town. Who am I but Chi-Town? You young fool, I'm too fly to just slide down. Blue sky but high ground. My crown slash helmet, so my aircraft stealth spit. Can't be tied down or even sheep building. I look down, I see green like a Celtic. My heat pulverizes the cheeses.
Well, excuse me, I have a lot of music. I was going somewhere else and it's not working. Which makes no sense.
The remnants of cash money, I dispelled it. You did the fusions in my eyes, I beheld it. The finger fucked the cause my hand, I dealt it. Felt it vibrate from the gut of my pelvic. The bust uncles for ices and veil shit. So radiant, I keep a dark room welded. Cause you little goofies are well quick. Body for real marquee velvet. Body you not for Mars, a female's clip. As a kid, all I did was fight. I did the bit with a knife. I know I.
Ooh, them fake Jews must be feeling some kind of way. Why don't y'all actually ask me if I can? And then you see the little puppet monkeys who want to beat us so bad. And they talking about what's your culture and your language, and everybody's speaking and playing with it. Ooh, them fake Jews must be feeling some kind of way. Why don't y'all actually ask me if I can? And then you see the little puppet monkeys who want to beat us so bad. And they talking about what's your culture and your language, and everybody's speaking and playing with it. Boy, them Jews did a number on you, them fake ass Jews. That's what I said. Look at them. We in control. You ain't in control of shit. You ain't in control. You wouldn't be in control. You know what? If you had control, I wouldn't be calling you.
Back home to Charleston White. I bet the Hebrews like to have this one. Woo! Say that one more time. We're gonna hit it.
Ooh, them fake Jews must be feeling some kind of way. Why don't y'all actually ask me if I can? And then you see the little puppet monkeys who want to beat us so bad. And they talking about what's your culture and your language, and everybody's speaking and playing with it. Boy, them Jews did a number on you, them fake ass Jews. That's what I said. Look at them. We in control. You ain't in control of shit. You had control. You wouldn't be in control. You know what? If you had control, I wouldn't be calling you the fuck out. Big ass shit. Unharmonic shit. In about 2 months, I can build something, have everybody talking about resonance. Fuck the boots. Come watch me feeling some kind of way. I said it, Gouchard. And a few other things.
Know I can spit my flows and shit to a fly zone. Haters wanna crucify a real man. I still stand with the silver hand, but with hella name. It's not Cypress Hill, I'm telling shit. I'm one tough cookie, I don't follow, I set standards. Catch me, you gon' have to do more than scamper. Need more than scanners, I'm off the radar.
And my music, and a lot of this music, it's only talking about the suppressed rising, the oppressed rising up against the oppressor. That's all. That's what my music's about. The oppressed rising up against the oppressor. So the only people that's scared are the oppressors. The only people who could have any harm coming to them are those who oppress. Simple as that.
3 pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, need no surrender. 3 pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, need no surrender. 3 pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, need no surrender. 3 pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, need no surrender. It's time for a change, gotta bounce up. The oppressor's about to get tossed up. I'ma lay him out, execution style's too late for an apologetic claim. You wrapped in a cloak of flame, by God, it's overdue. Your time is to the end. Locked out silent without sin. He put me on the letter for justice to win. The oppressor's about to get rolled on. With suppressors attached in the war zone. Revolution can start in the Arizona. I'm a messenger popping like Farrakhan. Backed by the honorable, who sits at the pinnacle. Who judges the hypocritical, cynical, and the plentiful sinful. My thinking is critical. I'm just ventilating of the actions of the protective service. Quick to pull the Glock, blast and kill. This don't take any type of skill. I'm ill of all citizens who haven't took a stand or kneels. Too late when the caps get pills. Don't believe it TC type. Ruin hits close to home. You gotta act the bone, but it got the dome. When it's on the song, all red and my vision through sight. It's killer be killed whenever I fight. From above, I be given the right. So you better be ready to ride tonight. On the way to the dawn daylight. We gon' rid them out, so gon' pass the kite. 3 pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, need no surrender. 3 pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, need no surrender. 3 pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, need no surrender. 3 pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, need no surrender.
This world is such a, and when I say this world, I mean it. I don't mean in an ideal sense. I mean in every day, every little thing you do. It's such a, gimme, gimme, gimme. Everybody back off. You know, everybody's like, if you taught that from school, everywhere, big business, you want to be successful, you want to be like Trump, gimme, 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 push, 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 step, 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 crush, crush, crush. That's how it all is, and it's like, nobody ever stopped.
Ah, man, get this damn fly. I'm big on bugs, like being in my house.
is you. Get it. Well, now you active. Well, now you want to get active. Don't look at me. Get it. Oh, okay. He on it. He got the assignment.
Where the wild things are. Max, Maximus, Maximilian.
I gotta pause. They tried to copyright that before, twice. So I'm not gonna play the whole thing. I sit in here and listen to it. Sometimes when I'm reading upstairs, man, I be going to DJ's music like a mug. I be wanting to play all of it, but I don't know what they gonna copyright, so I just don't risk it. Cause I don't feel like going over to the studio and sitting there and then they be putting some goofy music. I told you they do it intentionally because they're racist. You know what I mean? There is a clause about using certain background music. If you tweak it a little bit and it's not playing the same variable or the same music, and you know they had the thing come out with 1974 or 1984 where, because of sampling rappers, that you have to pay. Some of you know I paid for a site and y'all probably wonder how come I haven't used it yet. No, it's because I want to wait till YouTube really act up so I can play all kind of music that I pay to stream right here, that if they copyright me, I'm gonna sue them. But I'm not petty. I'm worse than petty. Okay, let's go ahead and get into reading. How you guys doing? T. Hines, Marcus, Olmec, what's going on? Ganja, what's up, beloveds? What's happening? What's happening? All right, let's go ahead and get this read on, man. I'm tired. My chest is sore from doing all them dang push-ups, y'all. God, dog, man. It's like if I stop doing push-ups for like a week or two, boy, the moment I get back and I drop down and hit 20 or 30, I'd be like, and then I'd be like, okay, that's all right. Get down and do 20 more, about 4 or 5 sets. Man, the next day I'd be like, come on, cuz. That's when I take that cold shower. And I'll be like, okay, let's go ahead and get it back again. And I just keep doing it. Right now, it's kind of tight. Like, and it's sore. It's the, you know. And I was doing the full, which is not overextended. And then the baby ones, like the prison ones, where you keep the tension on it. Goodness gracious. All right, let's get into the Negro. We're not going over facts and facts again. We'll do that tomorrow before we read this. But I just wanted to, I know a lot of books that go together, so I want to read Facts and Facts article, excuse me, and which called Going for Zion. And then mention a certain particular that if you go and get Arthur Kessler's 13 Tribe, you read that, and it's phenomenal. Or you go back and look at my videos where I did the reads on that. And I see there are a few people who went back and they let my, I hope if they're letting it play, that's magnificent. I appreciate it. Because you can turn it down and just let my videos play. You can put, somebody should go ahead and build a, what you call from my videos. And so I hit the 3 buttons and I see I can make them all, like, I can categorize my videos. I know I could do it. I just didn't want to do it. I might sit up one day where I don't go live or nothing, and sit up there all day just categorizing all the videos. Some of them I have to go over because there were days when I was just, you know, putting on a slight show with some tea as usual. And that way they'll all be where you can go from 1 through 20 or however many, because some of them are quite a bit. And that way it'll be subject specific. All right, we'll see. I just like people going back and getting a look and then see the development. And even in this was a learning phase for me, even though I'm well read when it comes to reading for people and stuff like that. Even though some material I'm reading first time with you, and some things I've read numerous times, and that's what reason why I break things down. And then some things are just kind of easy to break down, or throw things out there where you can research it and say, well, Red, this is what I found out as well. Doesn't mean I have to be in a delusional narcissistic state, ego tripping through the night, you know, tripping the light fantastic, which doesn't exist with me. It's just to be able to point out things that are, and also that are meaningful, and that also majority of books today, compared to some of my old ones, where letters are totally different, you know, there's a lot of grammar errors in these books. And some would say, well, what they read, the little stuff they read on my writings, they go, well, where's the grammatical errors? I'm taking my time. It's right now, it's ghostwriting, which usually you would have somebody who's actually a professional writer, like a lithographer. You could sit there and you could speak or tell a story, and they will make shorthand notes and then turn it into long form And I was thinking about actually paying somebody like for like, I think it's, I forget how much it is now. It's probably more expensive now, but where you can get at least 10 pages, like telling a story, like $60-$80. And but the all those pages would be legitimate. So I've got to look into it. It's been over a decade when I was last looking at doing that. I was on the res when I was looking at somebody in Phoenix who does it, ghostwriters, and I was like, you know what? Nah. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into the Negro Project. Bruce Flannery, forwarded by Ron Edwards. Margaret Sanger's diabolical, duplicitous, dangerous, disastrous, deadly plan for so-called Black America. All right, and you know what she looked like. I'm not going to show you guys. Bad ending. Okay, and let's get right into where we pick up right where we left off. Hey, for the world to see what's going on. I hope you guys can hang in here because it's going to be tiered to you. What's going on? Marcus, I got you, beloved. Let's go ahead and just get into it, and it's not going to be long, okay? So last when we were talking about the Civil War that claimed so-called 600,000. Many more lives were lost in that. Many more, okay? Many more, all right? So the sad truth of Roe versus Wade, and we've heard a lot of that going on in the last 8-10 years, is that abortion has been inflicted at a mind-boggling, disproportionate rate on Black Americans. As we have already seen, more than a third of the 3,000 abortions that take place each day in America are performed on Black women. Now, you must remember, these people will never tell the truth of knowing who you are, and the majority of them do, because they are just as much hypocrites, no matter what book is written. They are hypocrites because they will lose a lot of face based on other books they've authored. You must be mindful of that. And is it their job? Well, it's not a job. It would be practical and moral of them, but they're not moral subjects, nor creatures. All right, so be mindful. If you're running around calling yourself black, you know, you're the lithograph of stupid. Anyway, as we have already seen, more than a third of the 3,000 abortions that take place each day, 3,000, more than a third in America are performed on Black women. Shame on y'all. Shame on you. No, you need to hear it. Shame on you. But don't lower your head and don't get all emotionally unstable. Hold your head up and don't be proud of it. But that's where you need to repent. They have you repenting to some fake God with some fake irrationality. Reach out to your brothers and your other sisters for compassion. That's what you should do. Are performed on Black women, as has been pointed out in these pages. Planned Parenthood, the group Sanger started in 1921, as the which 1920, y'all remember what happened, or anyway. The American Birth Control League is the nation's largest private abortion provider, with most of its clinics operating in America's Black inner cities. And as mentioned previously, it is true that Sanger was opposed to abortion, but she did not have to be in favor of killing children in the womb. That makes no sense, right? Her solution, as shown by her Negro Project, was to make sure that human weeds, like minorities or those who are mentally and or physically handicapped, never had the opportunity to reproduce at all. And as horrific as the idea of butchering a defenseless life in the womb is, there are those who believe that it is perfectly permissible to snuff out a life after it has come into this world if the parents are being burdened. Ergo, what happened in the 60s, Vietnam, the government, welfare, the division, and the drugs pushed by the very people you call the CIA, or the dark forces within it, keeping what you call a bad flower in a bed of beautiful flowers. Burdened by that life in some fashion, chief among them is Peter Singer, the chair of bioethics at Princeton, whom we met earlier in this book, and we read about him a while ago. Singer has publicly stated that parents should have the right to kill a child whom they determine has an inferior quality of life, a rather subjective term, to say the least. It should also be noted that Singer is the author of Animal Liberation, a book that has been called the Bible of the Animal Rights Movement. Yes, the ASPC was developed out of that. It's bad enough that Singer holds such anti-human views, but what's far worse is that he is allowed to teach such toxic ideas to hundreds of students each year. What is the university's position on all this? And where is the public outcry, especially among the parents, many of whom are paying tens of thousands of their hard-earned dollars in tuition every year so their precious offspring can attend such a prestigious Ivy League school? Food for thought. This is one book that when I'm done, I will have a podcast where I'll ask questions. How do you feel? And I'll make it. I'll make sure that it's in a way to attract flies to the fly killer. All right, fly trap. Okay. So we can get a lot of people to come in, especially the little left-wing nutcases who probably need to go to Russia, the very place they're going. Protect Israel, fight Russia, the idiots, and see if we can do a number. And believe me, I don't have to swear. I'm talking to these hypothetical beasts. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, let's go ahead and get into Exposing the Expositions, 1851 to 1915, the revised 2021 edition from its 2019 by Howdy Miskowski. And here we have the Court of Honors in Chicago. And you know, that statue's a fraud. Okay? So when we last we were talking about, you know, relations as far as technology and why would they destroy the whole world, blah, blah, blah. And they act like everything's kind of new when we're talking about up to 1993 when they actually had the World's Fair again, but this time was totally different. As many of you have seen some of the World Fairs where you haven't been to them, but they hold them in one certain country, or you know what I'm talking about, and the VR technology and all that kind of stuff, outer space, AI, blah, 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 blah. The whole conundrum of pure nonsense. But practical as far as how they're dealing with people. And they want to take the kids' guns. They don't want them to own rifles, and they want to send them to war to die. They want them to teach them about violence, as they attempted to do with Tom and Jerry and all those. They were very sexual as far as the psyop side, and then very promiscuous, sexual, and then violent. For those who remember Acme and all that other stuff, you know, the dog and Tom and Jerry, you know, hitting with the pots and pans, things that never happened with our ancestors until the alcohol was made bad by the very people who stole it away, and they made it like, you know, Jack Daniels was created by this pale skin. When that his son knew it was created, we created Jack Daniels, rum, bourbon, we created all that. Even honey beer. There was no other beer. Anheuser-Busch came, and that's how they got the word Anheuser-Busch, and stole that away. Now here we go. That these early fairs were in fact indoctrination tools for the population can be revealed between the words of the first sentence of Robert Riddell's book, Fair America. Baby Go Slaughter, if you're in here, Fair America, look it up. The book was written in 2000 and opens long before the internet and the World Wide Web, another network, a veritable web of world's fairs ring the globe, giving form and substance to the modern world. Is this quote suggesting that IGT seems to be what IGT seems to be? And I do not think Riddell meant more than just they were as important to people then as the internet is to us today. But it is as if he has tapped into something without realizing it. The fairs before 1915 were not just important, they gave substance to the modern world. Or, I would say, they may have created it. Think about it. Remember the inventions when I told you we created the actual, you always see in the 1950 movies when they got the operators at the board, we invented it. Like, you can't make this stuff up, right? But yet, by the illusory of what these individuals did with the camera and everything was to paint a different picture and write us off. as who you truly are. Imagine 5 million of us going into the Grand Canyon. There ain't no blackbirds, no nothing that can stop us. But what they do, they have explosives all around them, so that you can't touch something and to become what you was meant to be, where the frequencies aren't harmful. They would just blow it up. This is how sick they are. That's why they did Farrakhan's Million Man March. And you know, he worked with the feds. Because they didn't want no notion of any of us being able to come together without fighting and all that foolishness. And they had to have something like death or something to incite that. Instead of people litigating themselves saying, I'm not working no more. I'm going to my land. I've got my land patents. I want nothing to do with you. And today, in the world of so-called righteous. But none of you know how to take advantage of that. One of you do it, the first thing you do is you get an ego and you act like you're bigger than everybody. So you take some of this new world they created and you put it right into the occupation of your existence. And therefore, you're not worthy to teach or lead anybody because your ego is the only thing you're stroking. Anywho. The next was scheduled for Dubai in 2020, postponed until 2021-22. Why would it be in Dubai? Anyway, with the theme of connecting minds, creating the future. This is the concept of putting the AI directly into the human mind. As you know, at ToLU'S singing that one song, one rap of his, those are songs for us. Talking about the AI, make you, and the woman speaking at the end, talking about making you some kind of automated robot or synthetic, they can have control over for their perversions. Anyway, with the theme of connecting minds, creating the future, this is the concept of putting the AI directly into the human mind. These modern expos, while large and somewhat unique, cannot hold themselves to the size and building opulence that was Chicago, St. Louis, Paris, or San Francisco. Ancient Rome was shown to be right in front of our noses. The cities may have been part of a worldwide empire, and the expose, certainly Chicago, was modeled after two specific places, the Domus Aurea, Golden House of Nero, and Hadrian's Villa. If you live in the United States, which we don't, we live in the land of America, the Republic, just go to your state capitol building, especially if you live west of the Mississippi. Look at the size of the dome, quality of the stone, and the date given for construction. Does it really add up? Where does this research take us? Have any of y'all ever done that? And next we'll be getting into chapter 7, which I really can't wait to read this again, and that's the mud flood terms. Yes, look it up, the mud flood terms. They didn't build none of this. Remember that. None. If that was the case, why did they need us to repair the so-called White House, the Capitol? And then they tell you a melanated man, which these dumb religious Muslim monkeys always turn around talking about. Oh yeah, he was more Mason Moore and he's Alpha Phi Alpha, and his name was, and he constructed all that. I'm so tired of these dumb individuals. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into Behold the Pale Horse by William Cooper. Said I'm gonna show him first who they murdered, bitches, punks, and Behold the Pale Horse to fit some goofy agenda. Stupid. Just the waste. They're really powerful. They wouldn't have had to murder him, but most people don't know that. You're asking too many questions because you have a bunch of homosexuals who are in places of position, who got wives and children, and because that is in lieu to finding out a lot of information. James O'Keefe shows you that every damn week. Every time he meets somebody from the FBI, see this, that, and the other, or they're on dates, a bunch of homosexuals, and they're so prideful and yes, talking all stupid. But anywho, and it don't matter the crayon color, you should see it for what it is by now. Anyway, let's get into it. The story of Jonathan May. The information supplied to me was that Goldsworthy had an aged mother in Plymouth, England, whom he used as an excuse to make frequent trips there from North Devon. But in fact, he was met there by individuals who were delivering illegal drugs to him. There was no way of establishing for certain if such was the case. The people I had been paying to follow him were not professionals. I felt it was time to hand the matter over into professional hands, and I did so. Almost at once, this particular inspector left the North Devon area. Isn't that comical? Word came back to me from different sources, probably the result of one of the two people I had employed to follow Goldworthy talking carelessly, that Goldworthy's subordinates on the local police force were going to get even. Now the harassment grew to overwhelming proportions. For example, a hunting trip with authorized shotguns locked in my car under a blanket in the basket became having a loaded shotgun in a public place. Was one of my guns left loaded? It would have been a first and only time. Because you know they all lie today anyway. Now can the inside of my locked car be a public place? But my car was in a public car park. So the court upheld the conviction. The next two experiences originated with a friend. This is harassment now. With a friend who subsequently admitted to me that he had agreed to doing two things in return for not being persecuted by the same local police force. He sold me a dinghy and gave me a pair of boots. Both were stolen property, and I was convicted of stealing and receiving them respectively. Fines were imposed, as you should realize. I realized finally that I had no prospect of leading a civilized life in my birthplace, so I left the UK and came to the United States to try to establish a new, unsullied life. Now, between 1980 and 84, I simply made contacts and conducted no business beyond consultancy. I generated little money for myself, and I lived for the most part on the money I'd made in Europe during the 70s. I was in the process of suing my local bank manager and Miss SRS, whatever that means, Miss Sears, I guess, Barclays Bank for multiple contraventions of the Banking Act when I left England. Now, one of the enemies I'd made in England was a solicitor who had given me very bad advice and then had the effrontery to charge me for it. He was a close friend of my local bank manager. All right, and during my absence from England, he sent me a bill for about $2,000, a final demand, and then obtained a judgment order and a personal bankruptcy order, and all without my knowledge until I returned some 5 months later. I am certain it was done to thwart my lawsuit against Miss Sears, Barclays Bank, in England. And once educated bankrupt, one may not sustain any lawsuits at all. So I immediately left England again, and rearranged all my assets so that I was not in violation of the UK bankruptcy laws. I also obtained a U.S. visa for business purposes, so he had to hide it. Now, in 1983 or 1984, the trustee of the Sovereign Charter Trust Group was recorded as a client of the Oklahoma Trust Company, Oklahoma City. You know that's all for all our rubles and gems and gold. Are y'all aware of that? City, Oklahoma. Rand Everest, CEO, Rand Everest. It had become necessary to become more visible within the United States, which this is not. Little, if any, business was done with Oklahoma, save using it as a depository for some of the sodalities trust groups, private placement commercial paper. Private placement commercial paper. Now, outside of the jurisdiction of the Securities Exchange Commission, exclusively upon a private placement basis, the International Equity Trust began at this time to place its paper in commercial situations worldwide. It's funny whenever you hear these big Jews and all these people talking about they're billionaires and everything. So they literally got a bunch of other people to be dumb. And while they're running around with our riches, and they've tagged everybody with this fake trust to which you're supposed to have when you come of age, 18. And these bastards, well, you see the predicament. Excuse me. One more paragraph. Professional third-party geologists determined my core testing that the actual assayed content of 9 sections of gold, silver containing properties, gold, silver properties, those are your land patents, conveyed, bartered, and assigned unservably to the Sovereign Charter Trust Group in 1980 and 81, consistently down to the assayed depth of 160 feet, was a minimum of 1/2 ounce of gold per ton, cubic yard, or ton. It says ton, but ton. Cubic yard, and up to 10 ounces of silver per ton, cubic yard. Over the entire 9 square miles and beyond, geological surveys confirm that these properties and the acreage adjoining had once been a significantly large lake, fed by numerous streams from the Rocky Mountains. Over the millennia, considerable quantities of gold and silver had been washed down to the lake bed. Damn, many streams, rivers. Once, I mean, it's right there, people. There's so much stuff in reading other people's stories that when you think when you think about what you know of Oklahoma and these different places, and then our flooded cities, that start making sense. And the fact that there are grand cities we have built, because they wouldn't destroy their own, under hills and quarry yards that they use to construct new buildings, having people go in there and repurpose those old structures of marble, sandstone, and all that. Very strong stuff, even iron and steel, that they destroyed, blew up, and then buried. So he's dealing with is those who worked against our people, whatever you want. I hate saying Masons and Shriners, all that sick. They're not them. These bastards is worse than that. Okay, but that's the identity, and there's plenty other. There's a plethora of others. Okay, and it goes on. It gets. I mean, he tells a story that we know a little more. So he's working in ignorance, yet he is working in the light of what's permitted or allowed, and he's doing his best with the knowledge he has to secure himself. And even though he has moved away from the established, you know what I'm saying, to which most of our people have no clue about. We just work, slave, act like everything's all right, and pay the bills. What bills? Think about it. You're paying to live on earth. You're paying for a roof over your head. That you built this country. You're fighting with foreigners, and I hate saying that, but today, foreigners, who run around with your identity, and you argue them while the people who created all this, they probably get a chance every once in a while to come around and look at video footage and go, whew, they ain't getting nowhere, because they got the whole world dumb as to who you truly are. And then you got a bunch of little monkeys, melanated monkeys running around playing all these different things, thinking they're succeeding to do something. Held in review. What was that? All right, I'm trying to see. That old hag Margaret is gleeful to see Planned Parenthood thriving. Yes, why would that be held in review? It's fine. She's telling the truth. Thank you. Another moderator. Yeah, show that. Thank you. All right, so let's go ahead and get into Heaven Bearers. I'm not going to keep talking about it because y'all know by now. It's not even worth arguing with them because they're caught up in their little fictional world of existence in 2 or 3 generations or whatever, 4 generations. And that's it. And they didn't build nothing. They didn't invent nothing. And yet they want to argue. You got people over in Africa who don't even know if they're probably from this land or whatever, Jamaica or Haiti. And they're caught up not really knowing to study and pay attention to history. And they feel some kind of way. Like, who gives a damn about your feelings? Anyway, let's go ahead and get into Heaven Bearers, The New Age of Deception by Janine Heller. She has authored many books. I'm not saying further make her rich with the worthless fiat. What I'm saying is some of her books are pretty good. My beard's coming in and it's got my face. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. This is a good read. If you remember, this is from Heaven Bearers. Remember the first one? Wow, was that a doozy? It continues on. We're talking about the mud flood. We're talking about Tartary, okay? So she heads for the dark door and steps forward. Now remember, she's in her body, but she's, I guess you could say, dream walking. Something has happened to her that's put her body in some form of suspended animation or something like that, just to give you an idea. All right? She heads for the dark door and steps forward, ready to step into the darkness and leave the game. Her foot feels heavy, and she puts it back down. If she goes back through this door, and we're talking about the door of light and dark, to re-enter into this world. So anyway, her foot feels heavy, and she puts it back down. She goes back through this door. If she goes back through this door, she will never see Malcolm or her children ever again. She has no idea where this door will lead her, but nothing will ever be the same. Now she recalls that she stepped through the light before and returned right back on this earth, but she didn't have recall. There must be another option, a way to break duality. There is always another way. Malcolm used to remind her of this whenever she let doubt fill her mind. She steps away from the door and paces up and down between the door of light and the door of darkness, trying desperately to figure out how to make the third door appear. There has to be a third door, and she remembers the importance of the triangle. There is a reason this shape was used all over the empire. It contained power and healing. Eventually, she stops in the middle of the two doors and realizes that the third one must be the same color as this place, gray, laying hidden in the nothingness that by its very design contains everything. Yes, that is why she can't see it, because it is hidden in plain sight. A veil of deception hiding this reality from the one she is trying to return to. But where would it be? She walks back up to the door of light and counts her steps all the way to the door of darkness. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. She counts out softly, making a mental note of the distance. 7 meters between the two doors. She thinks and ponders on this for a moment. She expected it to be a multiple of 3, signifying the importance of the triangle. She suddenly has an idea and realizes half of 7 meters is 3.5 meters. There is the number 3. Not entirely sure why it isn't exactly 3. She walks up to the door of light and turns around, measuring carefully 3.5 meters towards the door of darkness, and stops abruptly. She turns to the right and takes a step forward, then suddenly reverses course completely and takes a step to the left, and then back to the center. Now what? She thinks, confused and frustrated by the lack of clear direction. Another conundrum. Oh, Bonnie doesn't know what to do. She needs to choose a direction, but she has no idea which one to choose. If duality is the trap, the triangle, the third option, must be the way back to Malcolm. Oh, this can't be right. She screams out and sits down hard against the soft ground, feeling nothing supporting her weight. This time her words make a sound as they leave her lips, and the confusion makes her feel hollow and useless. She places her head into her hands and wants to burst into tears, and for a good while doesn't move from where she is sitting. Eventually, a thought pops into her head, and she ponders on it for a little while. Perhaps it doesn't matter which side of the triangle she exits. And with that train of thought, she gets back up onto her feet and replays the memory of what Jane told her on her union day. You wear the union ring signifying singularity on the left hand, because from the left hand this vein connects to the heart, and this is the joining of the two souls. But in other parts, they wear the ring on the right hand, for it doesn't matter which side you wear it. What matters is the ring, because it is the ring that signifies the joining of the two souls. Bonnie didn't think anything of it at the time. To her, it was just another tradition she did not know, and up until this point, didn't realize the significance. The oneness of singularity, one in the Trinity. Three are the two natural opposing numbers to duality. Unity is the ultimate strength. Alone, one is divided. But the joining together and becoming one is the true strength of self. The Trinity signified an enlightened third choice. But was a choice nevertheless still stuck in the duality of the circle? The only difference with this choice was your memory remains intact and there is no rebirth. 1, 2, 3, 3.5. She counts carefully after taking a turn to her left. Following the tradition of the left's importance, she takes a deep breath of the nothingness and without looking back takes the half step forward into the nothingness that lies before her, and she disappears completely. And that's like my boy from Chicago came to me and says, and he must have been a GD or something, and this is something we used to say long ago. $5 on the ground, what you doing? I'm throwing down $1 and I'm picking up 6. What do you mean? Some people say, well, why would you put $1 down? Because I can claim it as mine. It's my dollar on the 5. It's like a prostitute. That if you're unchaliced and he's nowhere around, if I come up to you and you make conversation, I just laid $1 on you. Now you're my 5. We make 6. I don't think y'all really get me. This is what they do to you. But they do it with pretension and lies. You get what I'm saying? It's like the Federal Reserve. That's their dollar. They labeled it on after hijacking our government, murdering our king, labeling him president, rewriting history, destroying our land masses and everything else, and sending itself to war, or us fighting wars non-stop, without respite, as was proven in Korea and Vietnam. And they're hijacked. It's mine now. Next we'll begin in chapter 3, which will be very nice. I hope that made sense to some of you. I appreciate y'all taking the time. Wow, we made it to 57 minutes. Oh man, I got you. Yeah, beer, liquor, wine. I feel they are stuck in their ways. Are literally to start protesting instead of strategic strikes. Well, to say, I just want to see if anybody else spoke up. You know how it is. Not everybody will speak. I got you, Marcus, already, right, beloved? Anyway, I appreciate everybody coming in. I hope that was a good read. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm tired, so you must excuse me. I didn't want to lean on that, and I was fighting about 3 yawns. I don't know if you can see it. Me about to commit to them. And it's 4:30. Well, I don't know what time it is. You know, I don't care. This clock might be off some. I don't know. And yeah. So I'm gonna sign off. I hope earlier that you got something out of it. I uploaded I think a video or two. I don't know if the other one uploaded. I hope you check it out. It's the hearing with Fauci. And what I stated earlier, it still stands. I actually that's why I was looking, because I saw them pull up. I was out there talking to somebody who's Airbnb and they had New Jersey license plates. And you know me, I want to say, who is it? Because I know that they don't have those over there for rental vehicles. Well, they drove here, but they in California, and they're getting ready to head on back. And they're going to go through the Colorados and the mountains. I was like, for what? Why don't you go through... Excuse me, Max, why don't you hit Texas and why don't you go down? Because, you know, that's a drive up through the south, but still, man, you know, what route is it? I forget. Anyway, I said, you're going to be driving where you're going to be going on some roads, and if you lose a tire and you ain't got every spare and everything you need, man, it could be, man, it's still getting some weird weather up there. And I says, you're going to kind of hit the same kind of, you know what I mean? I says, to me personally, as far as, and that's Southern Jersey, I think going through all up that way is not fast as going, you know, summer and when you be around a lot of things. And but they don't have guns either, so it's not like, you know what I'm saying. But because you know what, Jersey, the police department and the government over there is just as racist as they can be, and even the Negroes over there, just like the ones in New York, a lot of them ain't who you think they are, and they're just as racist. All right, so trust me, they can't stand their own people. And some of you live over there, and you know this. I mean, look at Texas with them black Democrats. They are the most pathetic individuals in the world. And I don't care about the sister with the cowboy hat fighting people. She's doing it on a platform that don't belong to our people because she's just as ignorant. You'll never see them come to this live. I don't care if you know them and you invite them, say, come on over and listen to the brother talk. They be like, because they wouldn't have nothing to stand on. Okay? So anyway, I appreciate y'all. I got y'all know what I'm eating, right? My second meal, that fish. So it started out, I got like 4 different types of butters, like Europe made, Norwegian. My Norwegian butter is the best one I got. And I told you the friend made. And I got some butter from a good friend of mine that they actually churned, because I showed them. And Al, you gonna get this dang fly? This mug is big as a freaking horse, man. I don't have no fly swatter because I don't kill them. I used to catch them and throw them outside. I know, ladies, I can hear you now. Oh! And here I don't have to kill anything. All right? But anywho, are you just gonna fly right up in my face like that? Now I will knock you out. Don't get it twisted. Oh, I talk to them too. It ain't like they don't know, because they feel you. They sense you. Anyway, I appreciate y'all. Ladies, remember, you are the power. Brothers, you are the strength which protects that power. Just like a powerful covering to the core, the plant to the nuclear fission, it's one and the same. All right? Just like us on the earth, she is the power. We are to protect it as one. All right? Circle of life. Brothers, 2 and 1. I see y'all tomorrow, and we'll have a good read. I'm not coming back on later. All right? Appreciate y'all.